All right, we live. Armand here for E equals MCU. What's up, Marvel fans? Couple of things going on right now. All right, let's get into CinemaCon real quick. And as you can see, since I am not at CinemaCon, this is pretty much secondhand reports, and this is going to be a summary of what's being reported. So, spoiler warning for anybody who hasn't heard about what's going on at CinemaCon. Sony had their presentation last night, and they showed off a clip or a scene from Spider-Man: Brand New Day, as well as a um, some sort of presentation for Spider-Man um, Beyond the Spider-Verse. There are pictures out online. There are clips. I might throw one in the thumbnail. Yeah, I don't know. See, and let me know if that spoils it for anybody too. Because at the same time, like when I throw the clips or the images on thumbnails, just because I can't do them during the video because I am live streaming, so um, that could be problematic. But I mean, it's out there. It's like everywhere. Everybody's throwing it out. So, anyways, I don't have any specifics on the Beyond the Spider Verse trailer clip or whatever was shown. I haven't really seen much of that. I've just seen the images. But as far as Spider-Man Brand New Day, the scene that they show is the party scene that we see in the trailer, in where Peter is the neighbor across the hall, kind of keeping a close eye on Ned and MJ, and he's talking to Ned, and Ned said, um, "Find out who Spider-Man is so that he can thank him for saving his life." Now, it doesn't specifically say what time did he save his life, because he saved Ned's life and MJ's life. Well, it is specifically Ned more than once. Um, but the fact that Ned thinks that it's Mr. Harrington, the teacher from Spider-Man Homecoming series, the first three, and he thinks it's either him or Flash. I just saw a clip where somebody was kind of calling Ned out because he literally, when he saved them in the elevator, he was literally with Mr. Harrington and Flash. So even if he doesn't know who Spider-Man is, he would know that Spider-Man isn't those two, because Spider-Man saved those when he saved them. He saved those two when he saved him. So that might be a potential plot hole. I do think Sony's getting thick in the weeds, and we may start to see some mistakes, kind of like with the Spider-Man Homecoming, Civil War, age, date, time of when all that happened. Like, we might start to see some of that not necessarily add up, because they're getting pretty thick in it. Now, for him saying that, and them showing that clip, my thoughts on that is just, I think that's smart. I don't think MJ and Ned are focal point of the movie, and I don't even think they're gonna probably be in the movie all that much. I think them coming back to the movie was at request of Tom Holland. Now let's just talk about that for a second. Tom Holland's got weight. Okay, Tom Holland could throw his weight around a little bit with Sony. So I think what you're seeing is him exercise that. I still personally, from what it sounds like to me, I don't think he wants to stay on as Spider-Man. Like, I don't know what kind of deal he signed or what kind of deal Marvel signed with Sony. The details of all of that was never really released. So you're kind of going off assumptions. A lot of people are thinking he signed another six-picture deal. He's got two Avengers movies coming up. He's probably going to be at least one of those. And he's got a Spider-Man trilogy he's got to do. I don't think he signed on for maybe two or three movies, maybe. I think he's trying to find an exit strategy to get out as Peter Parker. And I think a lot of times you get burnt out um, with the kind of rigorous schedule of being in a Marvel movie. Like, they call it a meat grinder. A lot of times, and here's the thing is, he's been a busy actor ever since he became Spider-Man. It was like he did Spider-Man, and then he started getting other big films. So he's been working consistently since Spider-Man Civil War, or excuse me, Captain America Civil War. He's been working consistently. Um, that's 10 years right now at this point. We're about 10 years in on that. So that is a grind. And I suspect I would like for them not to kill him off as Peter Parker, but just pass the torch. They need to get this Miles movie and all that. They need to get that going so that they can pass the torch and he can still be around and maybe pop up and just take a break for 5 years. Because I mean, look at what it did for Andrew Garfield. He did the two Amazing Spider-Mans. He was in a certain headspace. He got away from that, and then what? By the time they brought him back in 21, it had been like 7 years, and like he's rejuvenated, like he's ready to go. So I hope they do the same thing with Tom Holland, and then maybe just and maybe just explore a different aspect for Spider-Man. If this is getting too loud, if the audio is terrible on this, it's because we're in the middle of a storm and just started raining really hard. So I apologize if there's any audio problems. But I hope he sticks around for at least another trilogy. But man, like some of his interviews, it just doesn't sound like, eh, you know, even when he was talking about making this Spider-Man movie, was like he didn't want to come back unless there was a reason for it, or those are like whistles, dog whistles to say like, I'm not gonna just come back to do a movie just because it's in my contract. Like I'll sit it out and get sued or whatever, whatever. So the other part of it is John Bernthal's Punisher being in the movie. I think is directly because of Tom Holland, because reportedly him and Tom Holland have I won't say they're best friends, but they have a great relationship from a previous movie that they worked on a couple of years ago. So, to my understanding, and all of this is rumor because there's no proof, but John Bernthal was in the wedding with him and Zendaya. That quote unquote happened, didn't happen. I don't know if they are married or if they're not. If they announced, that's on them. That's their business. But I did read something somewhere where it was saying that John Bernthal was either at the wedding or in the wedding. Either way, that means he's pretty close and pretty cool with Tom and potentially Zendaya. So, like I said, they're throwing their weight around. Sony, for all Sony's faults, and we always talk about Sony wants to Sony. Um, Sony, they're very different than Disney, and they're very forward thinking in how they do things. And even like with the song that was released last night for Spider-Man New Day, because Sony gets into music, they're always on the cutting edge of their soundtracks and everything. So for all of the issues you could say about with Sony, at least Sony does that. You know what I mean? Like, and I kind of feel like they're trying, they're building a great working relationship with Tom and Zendaya as a result of everything. And I mean, it doesn't hurt. And it's just like, man, just have them around, let him take a break, maybe come back, do another different storyline as an older Peter Parker, whatever, whatever. We got to get Miles in here at some point. We got to get Gwen Stacy in here at some point. However they choose to do it, however they choose to do it. Now, with all that said, there was no reveal of who Sadie Sink was playing, which is not a surprise. Everybody's pretty much saying she's Jean Grey at this point. Um, the other aspect of this, and what I wanted to get into, is Mike Coulter, Luke Cage is out here spoiling. He's on the top 5 list at this point for him. He just got in the MCU yesterday, and this dude is already spoiled more than Tom Holland, more than Mark Ruffalo. Like, bro is up there with it. He is. I don't know. Somebody wrote yesterday that Mike Coulter just got in the MCU and he's gonna get fired. Kevin Feige already probably done fired him for spoiling everything. Like he, this is why. What do you say? This is why Kevin Feige didn't want Mike Coulter in the MCU. And I responded back. I was like, yeah, he probably just waited for Finn Jones to slip up because he's on the shortest leash out of everybody. So, uh, if you don't know, they have been posting pictures online of Mike Coulter has been posting pictures behind the scenes of him, Daredevil, whatnot. and he did a picture with Charlie Cox and Karen Page, the actress that plays Karen Page. And Charlie Cox is in the full orange suit getup from Cell Block D. So it's like we know where this is going for season 3 of Daredevil, and it's kind of a spoiler just because that tells the storyline. Okay, we're probably 3 4 weeks early from knowing that. But the other aspect of that is I said that maybe Spider-Man Brand New Day would have a connection to Daredevil being in Cell Block D, if he, if that was what happened, because if you remember, he was fighting the hand in the jail cell that was for whatever reason empty, looked oddly empty. Maybe the hand is there looking for Daredevil, and Spider-Man goes like, "There's going to be some sort of connection or tie-in if he ends the season going to Cell Block D, and then Spider-Man for whatever reason has to go to jail and fight or whatever." So that's potentially a big spoiler. Mike Coulter's out here like he don't care. He's just like happy to be back, and I don't blame bro. I would just advise, if you're Finn Jones, don't post any pictures. Because you might get the axe, and they might reshoot all his scenes. Like, nah, we didn't want him anyway. So you got to be careful, bro. Like, because Mike Coulter was not on that list either. Like, for whatever reason, Kevin Feige was like, I could fight a new Luke Cage and Iron Fist, or maybe I want to go in a different direction with those two characters, but don't push it. So that's what I got for today, guys. That's the only thing that I noticed. CinemaCon's coming up. We're gonna get this at least some footage or something from Doomsday soon. So stay tuned till tomorrow. Till next time. Peace.